Everybody, have you heard the news? We got a brand new show that's breaking all the rules. Started out from VA and now we on the move. From local to global, we got something to prove. We came from the bottom, now we at the tippy top. To hold it down for our people, cause we all we got. It's a cold, cold world and we keeping it hot. Miss Pint on the mic next to Sheeta Rock. All work over here, we're having fun. Yeah, we say it like it is. Ain't no holding our tongue. Go get us on the team, yeah, we getting it done. Shout out to Travail, yeah, you number one. It started with a dream that turned into a vision. Educating new generations is our mission. Ears to the streets, yeah, we steady politicking. If you ain't about to change, mind your business. Wait again a minute, wait again a minute, wait again a minute, wave your hands with it. Now wait again a minute, wave your hands with it. We got picks like we all up on the gram with it. Now wait again a minute, wave your hands with it. Come on, Barry White. Haha. Welcome to another episode of Wait Again Minute Podcast. Today is Thursday, September the 30th, 2021. Our episode tonight, you guys, have been brought to us by none other than Blase Boutique. So before we get started, let's run a commercial with Blase.
The hottest boutique in the 757 now has a storefront location. Blase Boutique, 325 High Street, Portsmouth, VA. Those doors are open Wednesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are by appointment only. If you can't make it into the store, hit them up. www.blazayatl.com. Mention this ad and receive your 10% off today.
Okay.
Blase
That's right.
is sponsoring our show tonight. Our show tonight is very special. What happened was we actually dropped posts and we asked for topics. And look who we have tonight. We have Miss Miriam. So our topic tonight is my past. Everybody has a past.
Right.
Whether, we want to revert back to our past, or sometimes, people even, they don't want you to live past your past.
Right.
They want to constantly bring it up and throw it in your face.
Right.
So, but our past actually make us who we are today.
Yes.
Right.
It does.
So with that being said, Miss Miriam, please introduce yourself to our listeners and viewers tonight.
Hello everybody. My name is Miriam Staggs. I was born in New York, raised partially in New Jersey, and my mother moved here from New Jersey in 1980 to live here with her family, which my mother was born and raised here. I'm married. I have 2 children. Okay. One of my children, both of my children were partially raised by their grandparents because of my, my past.
Okay.
So my oldest son was raised by his grandmother, but my daughter, she was raised partially by her grandmother and grandfather. But I'm a retired hairstylist.
You retired hairstylist and you
right,
you
retired hairstylist. I as well am a certified nursing assistant as well as a med tech now. And I have a lot of business ventures going on, but most importantly, I have ministry. The drug ministry. I have a drug ministry that I'm launching on the 6th of October. So that's the reason why I am here.
Right.
Okay.
Well, we're glad that you are here. We're glad that you're here. So bring us up and let us know a little bit about your past. Like, maybe you want to start like how you started or all of that good stuff.
Look,
You might need to put that on sound.
I got to cut this off. Mm-hmm. The power off.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Yeah. Well, while Miss Miriam is cutting off her phone, we want you guys to share this episode tonight. Share as much as possible. Let everybody know that we're on. Okay, right. So bring us up to speed.
I wanted to share my story. I didn't look like an addict, but I started getting high at the age of 18. Okay. At 18, me and a friend of mine were walking down East Washington Street Okay. And we was walking down East Washington Street, and we found a package, about a $1,500 package, and
What?
full of drugs, full of crack cocaine, and me and her was like, we heard a lot about it, but we had never, used it or anything. So we said, we're gonna go and try this and see what it's like.
So let me ask you this right quick before you go to the next part. Exactly. Okay, so you never been around it, you never tried it, none of that. When you saw this package, which is odd, like you just bumped into a package, a $1,500 package, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So what would make you say, "Hey, let's try it"? Why you didn't think that, like, "Hey, let's go make some money off of it"?
Hold up. We had been around it before. Trust me, I had been around it because the guys that I dealt with in my past were selling it. So I knew what it was.
Okay.
But I had never tried it. So me and her, was curious about that. But we wanted to make some money too, but we wanted to see what it was. So we did try it, and we presented it to one of the guys that she dealt with, because one of the guys that I was dealing with at the time that sold drugs, he had got locked up.
Oh, okay.
So she presented it to him, and he was telling us what it was, and he was counting it and everything, and we had took something off to the side and kept that. We said, we're gonna try it and see. So we got us a can and put holes in it and smoked cigarettes, got ashes and put on there. And we smoked it because that's how we saw other people smoking it. So we tried it, and it didn't do anything to me for the first time. It didn't. It was like nothing.
So now when you first tried it, so it wasn't like everybody was saying like that first time it had you so gone that it made you want to keep looking for that first time high.
No, the first time I did it didn't do nothing for me. So it didn't do anything for me. I felt high, but I didn't. It was not like a marijuana high.
Okay, so you have tried marijuana before, though?
Yeah,
okay.
I had tried marijuana. Okay. It wasn't like a marijuana high. It was just different. But it wasn't like I was like zoned out. We was like laughing and, like, what is this? You know what I mean? And I guess that's the reason.
So you must have had a bad batch.
Maybe that's why I was lost.
It might not have been real.
No, it was real because I know the taste.
Okay.
Now that I continue to use it,
okay, I
know the taste. But I guess because I was young and then I wasn't, we didn't like use it. That whole evening, we just tried it, and it tasted like it smelled like plastic, and it tasted like plastic. I was like, this is weird, and
Yeah.
But as I went on in life, and I tried it again, that's when it gave me that feeling.
Okay, so when you tried it when you was 18, but how many years after that did you try it
Maybe
again?
a year later or so.
Okay.
A year later, I was at a party, and it was everywhere. You know what I mean? Because back then, it was in the 90s. That's when, crack cocaine really hit Virginia, hit Suffolk, like really big. So I was in, at a party, and it's everywhere, me and my girlfriend, and they got bongs, like tall bongs with, crack in it, liquor at the bottom, and everybody, you passing it.
Oh, wow.
You passing it, and everybody in there hitting it.
Oh, no, I've never been in none of those.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
I'm thinking about TB myself.
Yeah, that's
no,
what I was thinking.
back in the day when crack hit the scene in Virginia, that's how it was doing, because so many of the guys and stuff in certain parts of Suffolk they were big time. So they were getting it. So it was like, everybody was trying it. They needed customers. So they had parties and had plentiful.
Okay, so after you tried it that first time and didn't do anything for you, so you tried it the second time.
I liked it after
later
that.
At the party.
I liked it. Yeah.
Okay, so that gave you a different high or
a different high.
feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's when I really got the taste for drugs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's when I really got the taste for it, and I started getting high on a regular. or on the weekend.
Okay.
You know, because I wasn't a person that hung in the street and got high in the street. I was a person that was functioning. I functioned. I went to work.
Functioning addict.
A functioning addict. I didn't look like I was an addict. I kept myself up. I looked, the part. But when I wanted to get high, I would set money aside and get high. Okay. Or I get high, just like I was telling you, I get high all weekend long. And then Monday through Friday, I wouldn't. And then sometime I would get high all Monday through Friday. And not on the weekends, but I was functioning. Right.
Okay, so your first try was with crack. Now, up here I have to give you this disclaimer. We are unapologetic and unfiltered. So therefore, I'm a straight shooter, and I'm sure you know because you actually watch.
Yeah. Come with it.
Now you sit in there and you find this package, right? And you guys take a little bit off or do whatever you can do. Did you ever look outside yourself like, I'm sitting here really smoking crack right now? So you just tried it and just...
I didn't even think, I'm telling you, I didn't even think that far because at the time, I'm telling you, everybody was doing it.
Right.
At the time when I tried it, everybody was doing it, almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was at an era where it had just hit the scene. Everybody was doing it. Even the drug dealers was smoking it.
So it was something to do. It was
something to do. Exactly.
Somebody. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. But now, being that you guys tried and then it led to something else, like, was there a point that you ever got to the point where, I know you say you were a functioning addict, where you like maybe have stole things or borrowed from people that it was that you actually borrowed?
Yes. Especially the men in my life. Yes, definitely. And like I said, I only dealt with drug dealers at the time. So from I think 18 until I was like 30, my late 30s, every man that I dealt with sold drugs.
Wow. So therefore, it became easier for you to get.
Yeah. I would take their package. I would take it.
Wait a minute, not take the whole package.
Who?
So did they know you had a habit?
Some of them, yeah, and some of them didn't.
Oh, okay.
Or either I would date somebody that didn't have a clue about drugs. Period. It was either he was a drug dealer or he had no clue.
So you were just lost in the sauce. So either way, you was able to get what you wanted.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So now we done went past the party. We done went past finding the package. Went past the party. So now you're in your 30s. You still using at this time, and you still dating the same type of men.
On and off. But you like me. I would say, okay, I'm done with it. I'm not gonna do it no more. I can quit whenever I want to.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. At what point, from the time you tried it, the first time you tried it, you left it alone. You tried it the second time. So from that second time, to what point did you realize, hey, I'm really an addict right now? Like, I really have an addiction. When did it actually hit you?
I'm going to say, like, okay, 20, maybe 21, 22, 23. I was, in and out, getting high, stop, get high, stop. And then I would, stop for, like, I got pregnant. I got pregnant with my daughter. And when I got pregnant with my daughter, I was in my addiction. Okay.
But she wasn't addicted to anything.
No, she wasn't not. But God is so good because I was 8 months going into my 8 month pregnancy, and I was using, and I got locked up.
Okay.
And that's what saved me from, what I'm saying. And then
self-destruction.
Exactly, it saved me. And when I got locked up, when I came home, I delivered. So that saved my daughter from being addicted, and it saved, me from having that urge to get high. But when I came home and after I delivered and everything was good, and the smoke cleared, I was getting high again.
So by this time you was like, I know you said you was functional, but by this time it's almost sound like you was like really deep into your addiction.
Yes. I definitely was, because I was married at the time to my ex-husband. He was a big time drug dealer in Suffolk. Mm-hmm. He had plenty of it, and if I wanted it, I would get it. He didn't give it to me, but I knew where he kept it.
Okay, so you used to take it from him.
Yeah, or either just go and take out of each bag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I would do that, and I would have enough to get high as long as I wanted to.
Now,
so what did he say? He didn't. None of them.
Sometimes he noticed, and sometimes he didn't. But
which one of your boyfriends or your ex-husbands? Which one of them at some point found out? At what point that one of them found out and went off?
All of them. My ex-husband, he went off because I took everything and left. I took all of his stuff. And left.
Oh, so you had.
You was about to.
Yeah, you about to really get it.
Yeah. He looked for me for days.
Watching out for you.
Yeah, he looked for me for days. Yep. And I've been doing hair and tell him, hold up, I'll be right back, and go and get high, and never come back.
With your clients?
Yes.
And they sitting there waiting for
I
you.
have seen people do that. I haven't seen them.
You heard of people?
Yeah, but I heard people that will leave and go. But that's what you call, a functioning addict, because they have to support themselves. So they would, do a little bit and then stop.
Yeah.
But at what point do it become not a functional addict? Because a functional addict, in my mind, is what I'm thinking. You're going to complete your work day. You're not going to do anything to jeopardize your work because it's your livelihood. But if you jeopardize it, then you're not quite functioning because you got to go get high.
But it's thinking, I'm at home. I was working out of my home.
Oh, okay.
So I left them there.
At your house?
Yeah.
At your house?
At my house.
To go get high.
So now, okay, at this point, you're in your mid-20s. You have 2 kids.
No, I was about in my 30s.
Okay, you meant 30. Yeah. Okay, so where are the kids at this point?
My kids. My son was raised by his grandmother. Okay. So he was always at his grandmother's, and my daughter. This was when I did the job thing or whatever, or left somebody in my home. That was before my daughter was born.
Okay.
That was before my daughter was born. After my daughter was born, it really settled me down a little bit, but it didn't stop me.
It didn't stop you.
A lot of things that I was going forward in and being faster, it was like speedballing before my daughter, and then I got locked up.
What did you get locked up for?
I got locked up for a failure to appear, but it was a grand larceny charge because I was boosting at the time and got caught, but I never went to court.
Okay, so let me. Maybe I need clarification on this right quick. I need to know what is the actual definition, or what is considered a functioning addict versus a person that's not a functioning addict.
A functioning addict is somebody that you can look at and not tell that they get high. So and they take care of their bills. Mm-hmm. And granted, sometimes I didn't, but I would rob Peter to pay Paul. Mm-hmm. Do you get what I'm saying?
That can be everyday life right there.
But I haven't even. Sometimes I would put off I would put off my light bill. Make a payment arrangement and take the whole money and get high with it. I would do it with my rent. Sometimes.
So you're saying that that's a functioning person because before you took all of the money that you had to go get high with, you did make accommodations for your bills.
Yeah.
Or you did make sure your child had food. Because
she made sure she went to work, and instead of not just going to work, she still went about her life and did things that she did, but she just wasn't out there all day, every day.
The thing is that I wasn't responsible. I mean, I didn't have my children. Do you understand?
Right.
Their grandparents had them. So I
So
didn't.
you just had to worry about yourself.
I had to worry about myself, and if I got my daughter on the weekend, no, I may not have got her. I made sure I made sure she was good.
So you never made sure, you never had the kids in jeopardy or harm's way or nothing like that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I mean, I have had my children. I mean, my daughter, not my son. My daughter have probably been with me, and I've gotten high, but she was somewhere else. Somebody. I let
She's
somebody
never
else,
seen you get high.
Yeah, I've seen let somebody watch her, or my sister was watching her, or a friend was watching her somewhere. She was somewhere safe, but I dip out and get high.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's now. Did you grow up around? Like, do you have any addicts or anything in your
Yes,
family?
definitely.
So was that something that, like, I just think that if you are born into a family and that they are addicts, you kind of have that addictive behavior, right?
Yeah.
So when you, like, the people, were they close to you?
Yeah.
That were addicts, and did you guys ever do anything together?
My mother was an addict. My father was an addict, which my father was killed in New Jersey in 1974 by a police officer.
Oh, wow.
In 1974, but he was an addict. He was, and my mother was. I've had family members that were. I didn't start getting high, around my mother, but eventually, it goes there. You understand what I'm saying? You get high with them.
No, I don't understand. Can you please break it down for me? Because I'm trying to.
Because I was at the time I was living with my mother,
Okay.
And I had a husband that sold drugs.
Okay.
So and my mother got high too. So he was feeding her drugs,
So yeah.
and I had to take it. You know what I mean?
So he didn't.
But he would give it to her.
He would give.
He would give it to your mother.
He would give it to her, but me. He wasn't gonna give it to me, so I had to take it, or either I had to get my mama to get it from him for me.
So did your husband? So did your husband like know you had a habit, or did he kind of know? But
Ain't
was
no
wondering?
kind of know. He knew,
He knew, but he didn't.
knew.
But he didn't want to be the one
but to give
serve
it
her.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
But he's going to serve your mother though.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, you guys are, walk me through, if you can remember, that initial time where you guys sat down and said, "Hey, we're gonna get high together."
Oh, her mother.
It
you and
wasn't.
your mother, yes.
It wasn't a time that we said, "Yeah, we're gonna get high together." It just happened. It's like I come home, and I got some. Mm-hmm. And my mother's there, in the manor, how the apartments is. So I come in and I'm like, look, I need to, I got this,
Mm-hmm.
And she like, look, I mean, get her little stuff out and be like, look, what do you use?
Wow.
What do you use? And I showed it to her, and me and her had a conversation, and she was like, look, let me tell you something. I want to see what you do. I want to see how you do it.
Really? That was.
She sat and sat across from me and said, I want to see how you act. I want to see how you do it.
Wow.
I want to see this because I want to know how you act outside.
Uh-huh.
Do you come out of character?
Oh, okay. So
Are you on the floor? You know how people
So
do.
what did
You know
you
what I'm saying? And I smoked it because I'm ready to smoke. So I smoked it, and she was like, "Okay, so you telling me that you quiet, you to yourself, you don't?" Because I was a quiet person when I got high. I was quiet.
Until you wasn't loud.
I wasn't loud. I was quiet, and I just shut down. Like really quiet, watching things. I'm really silent. So
Were you ever paranoid?
Yeah, that's why I was quiet because I want to hear what's going on around me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And my mother was like, she was like, so she would like talk,
right?
and I'm like. I ain't
So
with
you
the,
shut completely down.
I
So
ain't
you
with
was
the
in a-
talking. I ain't with the talking right now.
So you
She
was really like kind of in the zone when you got.
exactly.
Okay.
So mom, she was like, look, well, here's a beer, drink a little beer, something that'll calm me down, what I'm saying, get me to talking. But it happened a few times that I got high with my mom, and then at one point I was like, I can't do this.
Now, being that you guys got high a couple of times, was there ever a point that you felt like a lack of respect for her?
Right.
Like, because I feel like, like the mother and daughter relationship.
It's kind of like
Never,
damaged.
never, because my mother was not. She was about that life. You know what I mean? And it was like she really wanted to see how I carried myself. It wasn't like she was like, oh, "Come on, let's get high."
Do this right.
She was like, "Here, put this down here and show me what you use and how you do it, and I want to see." Because I want to see, do you come out of character? Because she like, if somebody ever tell me you come out of character using this, and this is control, if this controls you, you don't need it.
Right.
And if it's gonna take you out of your character, you need to you got to do better. You know what I mean? So it was like a conversation we had during the time I was just getting high. But no, I never lost respect for her. But it was crazy because after I showed her how I got high, she quit.
She did. That's why I'm about
She
to ask
quit.
you. So how did that?
She quit. She stopped.
Wow.
She stopped.
So that was her turning point.
She stopped.
So that was the help in her life to get her to say, you know
Yep,
what?
She stopped.
This
she
is
stopped.
it.
Yep, she stopped.
Because that's probably why she wanted to see how you act, and then
she
say,
stopped. When that happened, she stopped. After it wasn't a few months after that she quit. She stopped.
"Oh, so that was probably what she needed."
Yeah.
Katria Gam Sut says, did you ever try anything stronger?
Oh yeah, definitely heroin.
You tried heroin too?
Yeah, pills. Yep. And the thing was with the heroin wasn't for the feeling so much, and I never was addicted to that, but I would use it to counteract the paranoia in getting high with crack. I would snort a few lines of heroin just to balance, so I wouldn't be so paranoid.
So it was like a chaser.
It was like to keep me balanced, to keep me from being paranoid and being functioning, and I can talk. Because when I hit, I couldn't talk.
Oh,
I wouldn't talk for a while.
So when you hit, you just went mute. You just like.
I went mute. That's right. I was like, look, and don't blow my high.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
talk to me.
We got another issue then.
Yeah, we got another issue.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because it costs too much. Look, leave me alone right now. I'll holler at you in a minute, but
Right.
let me come down.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Oh,
So
okay.
you were trying all these different drugs.
Yeah.
You were trying all these different drugs, and at some point, did you ever kick it, or what was a turning point for you, if it was a turning point, and at what time?
It was a lot of turning points, but the thing is that I was trying to do it on my own. I never went to rehab. I never did rehab. I never saw myself doing rehab. But I always stopped for a while and then started back because I didn't put God as the main focus.
Right.
I didn't I wanted to empower myself. I wanted to do it on my own, and anybody knows that anything that you're trying to do, you can't do it on your own.
Right.
You cannot do it on your own, and if you're trying to do it on your own, it's not gonna work. It's gonna work for a little while, but you're gonna lose. But I started to when I started dating my current husband, I was dipping and dabbing, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, Lord, I asked God, if you give me, my heart's desire, I would never look back. And I wanted to live for God. and I've been saved, and I got ordained when I was in Georgia. I went to theology school in Florida. I started when I was here before my mom passed. My mom passed in 2012, and I was like, I got to get out of here, because the thing is that I'm familiar in Virginia. I'm familiar with the drug dealers.
Right.
I'm familiar with the drug areas. I'm familiar with all of this stuff. And my mom just passed. I had an uncle that passed. They died a day apart. Wow. I had somebody that was really close to me die a week after that.
So that could have been your relapse right there.
Exactly.
Because of all the traumatic
Exactly.
issues and stuff you were
And
going
I
through.
felt it. Because before that, I was getting high and, dipping and dabbing and stuff. And I felt that coming on me. And I was like, okay, God, what? I got to do something. I got to get out of here. Right. I got to leave. And, God just kept on telling me I had to go. And I just put the map on the table, closed my eyes, and I pointed. And it was Florida. And I went to Florida. I moved. On December the 12th of 2012, I left.
You left.
With $60 cash and $60 food stamp. 2 one-way tickets, me and my daughter.
Wow, you just left.
I left.
Okay, Choosy Reed says, how long have you been sober?
About 6 years.
About 6 years. Okay. And you were, before the 6 years, in total, how long were you actually
that's
an addict?
Before the 6 years, on and off. Because I've always would stop for a year or two, 6 months or two, you know what I'm saying, and go back. It was always any addict that that's experiencing addiction, they usually have some kind of hurt, some kind of something that really takes them back. And me, it was like a lot of it was family. It was it's funny because when I moved back here, thinking on one thing and talking on another, but when I moved back here, I didn't want to come. I did not want to move back here at all. And
Why is that?
Because of the familiarity of people, places, and things.
Okay, gotcha.
So I didn't want to come back here. And God had to sit me down one night and just say, look, this is your healing. Because a lot of people, let me tell you, your family can be your worst enemy. Right. Your family can be your worst enemy. And the people that's closest to you will throw everything about your past at you, like because they don't desire to see you change.
That's right.
They say they do. They say they desire you to change. They want to see change in you. They'll talk about you to everybody in the world. Oh, she need to change. She need to do this. She need to do that. But when it comes down to you changing and your life ain't changing and revolve around them, they don't like it.
Right.
They don't like it because the thing is with when God started dealing with me with addiction and separating me from people, places, and things, I had to let go of some of my family members. Right. I had to let go of some people that was really close to me, and some people I cut off for a long period of time, and some people I've cut off, for forever, and I still love them, and I still, go around them, but I can't sup with them. You know what I mean? And I have, close people that throw stuff at me. And God was like, okay, when I bring you back to Virginia, I need you to expose you.
Right.
Because if I come back here like nothing happened, like I'm so such much, the devil's going to expose me. Right. The devil is going to bring all my demons back. He's going to allow everything and everybody that comes close to me to expose me when God said, that's your testimony. It's for you to tell.
Right.
It ain't for you. You don't give the enemy the power to utilize you.
That's right.
To control you. So when God told me that, I had to expose me. So anybody I talk to, when it comes to anything, I expose me. I expose my past.
Okay, so being that you're now exposed, I know it had to have been unfamiliar to you because, you know, you're letting everybody know exactly who you are. Like, and as we were talking prior to, people can see when God is moving and changing in your life. So for you to just stand in your truth, I know it had to have been a big deal.
Yeah.
Because you had to face some demons too.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I had to do some praying and some soul searching.
Right.
And just expose it, because the thing is that I don't desire the enemy to use anything to keep me bound.
Right.
Or to keep me from helping somebody else. Because it's not about me anymore.
Right.
It's not about me anymore. It's about who I can help with my life, but my life story that somebody is hiding in the closet. They still getting high, but they don't look like it.
Right.
And then, you know, they family, you know what I'm saying, may not even know. Some family members, I ran into an old friend today, and I told her my story, and then she was like, Miriam, what? I never knew that. Yeah, I was addicted to drugs.
Yeah, and you, go ahead, Miss Go Getter.
Okay, so I know someone asked earlier, I know Gamma asked earlier, but from the time you started your drug addiction till 6 years ago, during that whole time frame of 18, 19, up until 6 years ago, you were still, you know, dibbling dabbling occasionally.
Yep.
With the same drug of choice, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so at no
Marijuana,
point...
I always smoked marijuana during that time, because that was like my balance. You know what I mean? I drank.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So, but you still was functioning during that time. At no time, so you didn't experience what some people said that they like experienced a downfall where they was like out in the street or none of that. You didn't have to worry about right. Okay, so you were still looking fabulous like you looking today, and all of that, and working and doing hair. I know you said you was a stylist for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about when you went to Florida? So basically when you went to Florida, you ran into some issues with dibbling and dabbling.
When I went to Florida, I actually went and moved into a shelter. Me and my daughter moved into a shelter. I had contacted them before I left, because I was desperate when I left here. I was like, I did not want to be here.
Were you scared though?
At first I was, but I just kept hearing God say, I got you.
Okay.
I got you. If you do this, I got you. And so I moved. You know what I mean? I just was like, it's got to be better than being here.
Right. That's true.
And I did, meet somebody there and dib and dab maybe once or twice. But I was like, Lord, and then I came back to Virginia and visit Virginia and dipped and dab. But then I got to a point and I was like, look, what was the purpose of you moving?
Yeah.
You have to sit down and talk to yourself, be real with yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's the point of you moving way here and you still doing the same thing?
Yeah.
So you got to either get it together, and you got to get it together now.
Yeah.
And that's when it started. And the thing is that I was in theology school before I left. Okay, because I've had a call on my life all my life, but I ran from it.
Yeah.
So you were in theology school, but you were still dibbling dabbling.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, in theology school here. And when I got to Florida, I found a theology school that was close to me, so I started going there. Okay, and this was after I dipped and dabbed and came to Virginia or whatever. I was like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna go to theology school, and that's when it started breaking. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I had to see the thing is that we want God when we want Him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people want God for to do this or do that. It's like a condition. You want God to do this, and that for you, but you don't want Him to do this, and that.
Yeah.
See, when we open up and I'm where it's. I mean, I know everything. Yeah. I know where everything is. I have to stay in the point that that I have to stay humble.
Right.
I have to stay in line with my spirit, because a lot of people don't want to. Have you ever seen people that can't sit in quiet? Mm-hmm. When you find a person that can't sit in quiet, it's because something's speaking to them. Mm-hmm. Something they're hearing they don't want to hear. Mm-hmm. And it can be God or it can be Satan. But whatever it is you're hearing, you got to get clear on what you're hearing so that you can denounce what you need to hear and what you don't need to hear.
Right.
And that's what I had to do with myself. I had to get to a point that I get quiet enough that I can hear God speaking to me. Because at one time I wasn't. I was letting all the mess, the trash, the devil speak to me. Oh, go over here. You lonely. You alone. You home alone. Go over here, and you wind up using. Right. Mm-hmm. And me being here, this time, being here, living here now, I'm all right with being home by myself. I'm at home. I'm all right with being just me and God. Right. Yeah. At one point, I couldn't do that. I couldn't stay home. I'd have been out getting high. You get paid, and now I'm getting paid more than I ever got paid in my whole entire life.
Mm-hmm. But it seems like it's like everything is lined up because
right.
You've asked God to come in. He has now delivered you.
Yeah.
So your road is much smoother.
Yes. Yes.
So I just don't know. Like I'm sitting here, I'm trying to think of what to say, but I'll just say this, just like you stated a few minutes ago, that what the reason you're here in this place today is to help somebody else.
Yeah,
right. Because like you said, some people are functioning addicts or non-functioning addicts, and they may see you and may realize that, hey, I remember when she was such and such.
Yeah, exactly.
But now I see how she has changed.
Yeah.
And you may encourage them to
exactly,
do the same thing.
And that's the what we go through in life is not for us. Yeah. It's never for us. We make it about us. Mm-hmm. We dote on it. We cry about it. We moan. Mm-hmm. We wallow in it. We allow the enemy to use it to beat us up, to kill us, mm-hmm. to destroy us. But if we would just sit back and think that, hey, what I'm going through is not for me, it's for the person coming behind me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We would come through our mess better. And that's what really, really got me out of my addiction. I talked to a guy during the time that I was getting clean and was in theology school, and he had been out of getting high for years, and he said, let me tell you something. He said, I'm gonna tell you what would keep you from getting high. And I was like, yeah, okay. Everybody say something. Everybody say something.
Right.
He was like, let me tell you something. If you think about your addiction and everything you went through, regardless of what it is, what happened to you or whatever, during your trials and tribulations going through life, if you think about it as it's not for you, it's about somebody else. Mm-hmm. It's about somebody coming behind you. God allowed you to go through this so that you could pull your brother up, pull your sister up.
Right.
It's not about us.
But that's cool. But had you been a selfish person, you wouldn't have heard any of that.
No.
Right.
No, exactly.
So it still goes back to he took the taste from you and allowed you to, even though he gave you some encouraging words, but that it wasn't right about God.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it had to be because I didn't go to no 12-step program, and that's why I created my the addiction recovery ministry, because it's not like a 12-step program. It's we uncovering the mess. You know what I mean? You come in, we're gonna talk. We're going to discuss. At a 12-step program, I've been to a lot of NA meetings, and I'm going to tell you what they do. They sit down, they drink coffee, they talk about their addiction, and when they leave, they go and get high.
Okay, so what's the difference in that 12-step versus what you're implementing?
What I'm implementing is accountability, one thing. because I mean, a lot of people have people, but you got to be really a person that will hold somebody accountable. You understand? You got to live this, and everybody that I've reached out to that are recovering addicts, they saved, they living a for real saved life, and they ain't selfish. It ain't about them. If you call me in the middle of the night, and anybody know me, that's my friend now. If you call me 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you can get me. If I roll over and see that I done missed a call from you, I'm calling you back. I don't care what time it is. That's we have to die. You know what I'm saying? Die to self. And it's time for people, because we got so many people dying to this drug. This drug thing. We have so many kids, so many young adults, so many. It's not even like people my age no more dying from this drug thing no more. It's kids my age, my kids' age, and younger. So it has to be something has to be done.
Now, speaking along the lines of your kids, I understand they're grown, correct? Do you guys have a relationship? Like, what is the relationship with you guys?
Me and my son is we real cool. We always been cool. I've never had no issues. Me and my son always been cool. My daughter is a girl. You know daughters, and she's spoiled. So, sometimes kids want you to do things for them just because. I'm not. And you're not going to use what I see. A lot of parents allow their children to guilt trip them. That ain't me. You're not going to guilt trip me. You're not going to make me feel some type of way, because I did the best I could for you. I put you in great care, made sure that somebody was watching out for you, looking out for you. You was not in no mess. You understand what I'm saying? So you're not going to guilt trip me. That's the past. And if you want to talk about it, I'm open to that. I'm open to your feelings about it.
Right, and I'm sure she has, she in respect of her, I'm sure she does have feelings because, she's on the receiving
and she should,
right. So she feels the way that she feels. But at that time, she, in order for her to get over it, because if she's continued trying to throw it in your face, then she's still hurt.
Right.
So she needs to get to a place to where she's ready to have that conversation with you.
Right.
It seems like to me you're the type of mom that, hey, I'm gonna tell you everything. So if you ready, then you ready.
Exactly. Be ready.
So
you gotta be ready.
So she knows your backstory.
Yeah, she knows.
She feels a certain kind of way about it.
No, I think when I moved here from Georgia, I stayed with her for a little while. It didn't have nothing to do with the drugs or nothing. We just fell off a little bit. But it's because she's spoiled, and she thinks that every time she asks mama for something or to do, I supposed to jump. No. It ain't that. You grown. You understand me?
Yeah.
My mother didn't do it for me, and I'm not going to do it for mine. I'm not going to enable my children.
Right.
Because one day I'm going to be gone. And when I leave here, you need to be able to do for yourself.
Right.
You can't run to nobody then.
Angel Jones says, has any of your kids turned to drugs?
No. No.
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
I mean, they may smoke a little
stop.
weed or something, but that's about it.
Well, that's a good thing, though, that cycle stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has to stop.
But I was being real. But I've been real with them all their life. Yeah. I've never sugarcoated anything if they came and asked me about it. I've never hid anything, and that's what's wrong with a lot of children. Their parents cover up stuff and not being real with them, and then they have to find out in the street. I'm not going to allow my children to have to find out from somebody else. You're going to find out from the horse's mouth, whether you like it or not, take it or not take it.
Raw and uncut.
Raw and uncut. You're going to get it.
Raw and uncut. Katria Gamsut says, do you have any regrets?
Do I? I don't think so. I had fun. I mean, for real, I had fun. I had fun in my addiction. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a part of my life that I went through. I'll never go back. I'll never look back. But it made me who I am today.
Right. So do you feel like it was like in divine order?
Yeah, it
Because
was.
to find the package, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still
We
stuck on
gonna get
that.
it. Ain't nowhere anywhere you thought that was divine order.
But I'm just saying for her life, for the purpose of her life.
But what I'm saying, what I'm
Right.
saying
But
is
get her to be who she is
everything
now.
is written before I came
Right.
into this world.
Right.
So whether I want to accept it or I'm going to learn from it and keep it moving.
Right.
I'm not going to wallow in it. It's not going to say, oh, whoa, it's me. I was on drugs, blah, blah, blah. That will take up another 20 years of my life. I ain't doing that.
I know that's right.
I can't let that, no. I was good then. You know what I'm saying? I was good then. I'm good now, but I'm a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I was
it.
good
That's
then,
it.
good now, but I'm gonna be great later.
I'm great, yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna hold myself to that.
Right.
At least you are honest.
Exactly.
You know, and that counts for a lot because, you know, just like you said, yeah, I had fun. I did what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I had no problem doing and I have no shame in what I did. But this is what I'm doing today. So now that we're up to today, you know, you're an ordained minister, you're walking in your calling that you have pushed. And see, that's the thing about him. He'll let you keep, you know, pushing them aside.
Yep.
But he'll make you acknowledge him too. So and I think that's what. So
Right.
it's all just like Miss Go Getter said. Besides the fine drugs, but you know, I think that you're gonna do well, and I think people may be more receptive to you because you're honest and you're raw and uncut.
Right.
And if they're really ready to deal with their mess, then they're gonna really receive you. If not, then if they're still in the closet, then they're gonna feel some type of way.
That's
But
it.
you're here at this time, and it's definitely divine. Like it really is. So tell us a little bit before we wrap up, a little bit about where we can find or where they can find your program that you're implementing.
The program is going to be at Citadel Holiness Church. It's at 1981A Pembroke Avenue in the city of Hampton, Virginia. My phone number is I was going to say 757-678-697-6886. If somebody, you know, wants to come and go to the recovery ministry meetings, they'll be at 7 p.m. every Wednesday night. If you need a ride, give me a call, 678-697-6886. It's going to be a recovery like no other. We're going to dig deep in some stuff, and we're going to hold you accountable. And we're going to show you how to alleviate from the people, places, and things so you can be who God chose you to be, not who, you know, you've been living. You know what I mean? You got to come out. It's time.
Now, do you think that a person, like say if a person call you and they're saying, you know, I'm not ready for all of the religion stuff. I'm just ready to get myself clean. Like, what is the message that you're pushing?
Right.
Actually, we
Instead of pushing the religion,
right.
sometimes.
But the thing is that I'm not pushing religion. I'm pushing relationship.
Right.
I like that, and that's.
I'm not pushing no religion. I'm pushing relationship because God is a relationship. You got to have a relationship
That's
with
right.
with Him.
That's right.
And number one, you got to relate with yourself.
Right.
And the thing is that the ministry, we're gonna reach out to probation officers, to drug court, to the courts and everything. We're gonna link everything together so that anybody that's in drug court, that's on probation, that need a program to help them, you know, walk this walk. We're going to reach out to them and, you know, get them pamphlets so that they know that we are there in the city of Hampton. And I'm actually next week I'm going to, because I was on probation. I was on parole. You know what I mean? So I know a few of the parole officers. I know a few of the probation officers. I know people down in the courts. I know some of the police officers in Hampton.
And that goes back to relationships too. Right?
Yes, Newport News and Hampton and Suffolk. I know some police officers because I've been arrested. I did time. You know what I mean? So I have a relationship with some of the officers. I know them by face. They know me by name.
Right.
So I'm going to reach out to them and you know what I'm saying, go to these places and look, I'm here. I'm doing this ministry. You know, I'm reaching out. And they probably picking up people that's on drugs.
Right. All the time.
And probably say, I know somebody, you know, give them a business card. I know somebody that has a program. If you want to, you know, be clean from this, you want to, you know, get rid of this, you know, call her.
Right. Choosy Reed says, do you guys help families, support families like kids who are of addicts?
Yes, definitely. Yep, and we're gonna as well have other resources. We are trying to link with other resources like for people that's homeless, people that's trying to get jobs. We're gonna expand the program that help people that don't know, you know, how to do certain things, resumes, stuff like that. We're gonna expand it, but we starting first with the addiction.
That's right. Yes.
We're gonna start with
the addiction.
Start with the addiction first, and then we're gonna work our way to getting other resources to help people like that's coming off the street that's addicts that need somewhere to go. You know what I mean? Need a job.
Right.
Because you have a lot of addicts that are in prisons and in jails.
We want to do that too.
And when they you know, they are fighting it while they're in there, but when they come out, it's like, you know, they have to.
Like a new
world.
But the thing is that a lot of people that's locked up, they come home and they leave the same way they come out.
And that's true.
They leave the same way they come out because they stay in that mindset. And the first thing they're thinking about really is like, oh, I can't wait to get out so I can do this, and the third.
Exactly. That's the problem.
They really ain't even tried to even stop doing what they're doing, make a change or anything. And we as well are gonna expand and do a prison ministry to go in and teach them how to live on the outside. It's so many that done been in the inside for so long that they don't even know how to live on the outside.
They're institutionalized.
They're institutionalized. They don't know. They have to change. I'm telling you, it's really inevitable for people that are addicted to change their environment. If they don't change, and then they have to change some of the people because some of the people in their lives is the problem.
Exactly.
It's the problem why they use.
Right.
But I think they also have to start with their own mind. They have to change
they
their
have to
mindset first.
Yeah,
and then
they have to
everything
want
else
to
will become easier.
They have to want it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They have to want it, and if you want something, you're gonna keep going after it. But you need somebody to help you too, because a lot of people I don't see anybody just wants to be a drug addict. I don't see nobody just want to live that life just the rest of their life. I know a lot of addicts that want to change but don't know how.
And then I know some that don't even really want to change.
It's some because they done got so used to
it,
living that way that they don't know no other way, so they all right with it.
What night do you remember the night when it hit you when you said, okay, enough is enough, this is when I'm stopping, 6 years ago, that night or that day that hit you, and what happened when it hit you?
It was, but it's been so many nights
that
I said that. But the last time I think I just, when I got to a point where I couldn't pray like I used to. You pray and you like, oh God, I'm saying, help me, Lord, yada, yada, yada. When God took the words out of my mouth and all I did was tear. All I did was tear and just put my hands up. I couldn't say nothing. but he knew my heart. He knew that I was crying out with my heart and tears just flowing. I'm like, I'm tired. And I can't say a word. I couldn't even say, because I've been making these promises to God all these years. If you get me out of this, Lord, on the bunk in the jail cell, you get me out of this, Lord. I'm always on my knees, Lord, if you get me out of this, if my rent due and I ain't got the money, they about to put me out. Oh, you get me out of this, Lord.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you get to that point, you done and done. When you get really tired, you ain't got no words. No words coming out. God was like, shut your mouth. Just surrender.
I said,
Yeah.
Just surrender. And I just put my hands up and I just let it flow. And I just cried and wept and wept and wept and wept and wept. And I felt different. It was like I was washed with my tears.
So on that day, you did Romans 8. You just let them come in.
Yeah.
Believing in your heart.
Yeah, and that's
Come
it.
with the strip shook, Am.
I'm just saying, like it's just so.
Because I knew it had to been some kind of point where you got to that point, especially when you said you didn't do no rehab or any type of programs.
I was tired.
Yeah.
I was tired, and I did not. At the time, I was thinking about, what I wanted my life to be. But it's crazy because I wanted to. We always want to do these things. Like, I started so many businesses. I started so much. And God had to sit me aside when I first moved here. And he was like, nothing that you do will work until you do what I say.
Understand, yeah.
So I had to listen. And he was like, for your obedience, I'll reward you. Because this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
If I put his work first, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added up unto you. We have to learn to seek him first. If I put his business before mine, he gonna make sure mine good.
Yeah.
But I'm always trying to seek my business, do my business. I want to do this business. I want to do that business. And God was like, until you do my business, nothing's gonna work for you. And it hasn't.
He had to make you out of a believer.
Yeah.
Oh man,
So
this has been awesome. Like, because I know when people hear this and see this, they're definitely going to be able to relate to you, and you're going to help somebody. Can you give out the number again before we go? My number is
678-697-6886, and the address to the ministry is Citadel Holiness Church. Is 1981 Pembroke Avenue in the city of Hampton, Virginia, and the meetings are every Wednesday at 7 p.m.
So, and we'll actually tag that and tag you as well. Are you guys accepting any donations or?
Yes, we're accepting no donations. You can donate. You can call me before you donate, and I'll set up.
Make sure, okay.
Yeah, I'll set things up, and we'll let y'all know everything we doing.
Okay. And we'll definitely share it because people will, probably hit us up. So I'll definitely share your information.
Okay.
And point them in the right direction.
Okay.
Just towards you.
Okay.
But before we go, we always ask our guests something positive, some type of feedback about Wait Again a Minute. So you go. You tell us.
Okay. Wait Again a Minute is awesome. I can say that. I watch them all the time, but I just love the feel I got when I walked in the door. The feel is genuine, and y'all doing positive things, and I know God gonna bless it.
All the time.
Thank you.
He gonna bless it. He gonna bless it. So positive, loving, caring, and they ask good questions.
Of course. Unapologetic and unfiltered. So we want you guys to share this episode as we ask every week. We want you to share until Facebook tell you can't share anymore.
Yeah. I'll be sharing it too.
So with that being said, we're gonna end it with our song.
That's right.
Are
Let's
you
go.
ready? I know you say it.
Let's go. That's my favorite song.
Listen up, everybody. Have you heard the news? We got a brand new show that's breaking all the rules. Started Now we on the move. From local to global, cause we got something to prove. We came from the bottom, now we at the tippy top. To hold it down for our people, cause we all we got. It's a
Cold world and we keeping it hot. Miss Pint on the mic next to sheet of rock.
all work over
Here we're having fun.
We say it like it is.
Ain't no holding our tongue. Go get us on the team, yeah, we getting it done. Shout out to Trevelyan, yeah, you number one.
It started with a dream that
Turned into a vision.
educated new generation.
Is our mission.
Ears to the streets, yeah, we steady
If
politicking.
you ain't about to change, mind your business.
Wait again a minute, wave your hands with it. Wait again a minute, wave your hands with it.
Now wait again a minute, wave your hands with it. We got pics like we all up on the gram with it. Now wait again a minute, wave your hands with it. Now wait again a minute, wave your hands with it. Now wait
I know they
again
was
a
asking
minute,
a whole lot of
wave your
questions.
hands with it. We got pics like we all up on the gram with it.
With that being said, guys,
Good night.
Good night.